Hey everybody! Here we go again. So Marathon is currently having a server slam or whatever it's called, which is basically an opportunity for people to hop on and try the game out for free and give the developers feedback as they make their final touch-ups before the release date in March. And with this, of course, there's been a lot of criticism. And it has been very reminiscent of what just happened with Highguard, where, God forbid, people criticize a video game because, oh my god, it's the hate and negativity people again, targeting a poor, innocent video game. It's really all just very tiresome, and I didn't really want to get into it, but at the end of the day, there's things being said, there's scope out there being thrown out into the web sphere that I just can't let slide. Like, I can't resist it, so here we go. I tried the server slam myself, guys, and if you don't mind, I'll be splicing some different footage from other games in here because, frankly, not only did I not like it, it doesn't even make for good background footage. Most of my time spent here was walking around incredibly ugly locations and hallways, looting items, and occasionally shooting a robot or two while searching for players. Also, even the user experience looks bad, so I don't want to give anybody any epilepsy or some shit or something. Also, if you see some footage from a very old looking game, by the way, that'll be Marathon, the original one from ages ago before I was even born. I don't know if I'll ever dedicate a full video to it or not, but one of my biggest gripes with Marathon was finding out that there was already a Marathon and basically Bungie just went back, gutted it, completely stripped away what it was about and what type of game it was, just to make yet another tiresome live service. It's such a pet peeve of mine, it's one of the most disgusting things that you can do as a game studio. Marathon, the actual one, like taking that old game from the 90s and bringing it back in full modern splendor, would have been right up the alley of all the Bungie fans out there who have been waiting for them to make a single-player campaign again, rich in story, lore, and atmosphere, with epic set pieces, and then top it all off with a fun multiplayer mode on the side. Or the Destiny fans out there who always hoped that more of its story and universe was fleshed out rather than just shoved aside with asinine dialogue lines from characters that basically come down to, oh yeah, I could tell you all about this story stuff, but there's no time to explain, Guardian. In fact, Guardian, I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. Just listen to the Peter Dinklage floating voice and go do what he says. To see that original identity be sucked out and get turned into this slop that I even struggle to find words to describe. Like, I legitimately struggle here. I don't tend to rely too much on the word slop due to overuse, but I genuinely don't even know what to say here. I don't understand where the appeal is in this design choice at all. Everything looks like it's made out of Nintendo Labo cardboard. It's all just very disheartening, and that kind of brings us to the first example of cope. Every time a game tries something new and the internet dogpiles it before launch, another studio decides to play it safe next time. People say they want innovation but reward familiarity. Extraction games feel very different after you level up, but a lot won't see that. This is the first of many examples of content creator cope that has been swarming online discourse around Marathon, and something you'll definitely notice in the people we'll be covering today is they don't tell you why the game is good, they'll just do this, where they just condemn people for voicing their criticism because what they voiced wasn't positive. Again, same thing that happened with Highguard, and even the same sort of annoying thing that we talked about in this other video after the Highguard layoffs, where I even showed you guys a streamer going full boo-hoo on social media, crying over Highguard and placing the blame on the bad gamers who spoke negatively of it, while in the meantime the streamer himself wasn't playing the damn game. He played it once at launch and abandoned it. This is an increasingly annoying sentiment and it's all over the place. It comes in many shapes and colors. It comes like this, where it's completely wrong, like we're not even talking about the same concept here. It comes in the shape of saying people didn't used to be like this before, gamers would just ignore a game that was a mess instead of being vocal about how they dislike it, which is just insane. I don't know where the hell these people are getting this narrative from, but screw it, we'll get there later. Actually, we're not going to get there later because I already covered this in 2 Highguard Highguard videos. Instead, let's focus on this point. This has nothing to do with the game trying something new. At all. This isn't why the game is being dragged through the mud, that's number one, and number two, it's not new. It's the most classic of classics, straight up extraction shooter design. You spawn on a map, you look around like a moron, you loot shit, and then you survive on your way to find an extraction point to leave. It doesn't differ in any way from Arc Raiders, for example, except that game's world design and sound design is just infinitely better. Things are simpler to understand in it, and the UI isn't a messy jumble of particles, colors, menus, fonts, and other shit. Pardon my French, there's gonna be a lot of French in this video. I'm trying to hold it together, but I'm this close to crashing out. Number 3. If other developers out there are looking at the situation happening right now with Marathon, and what they take away from it is that they shouldn't do different things and play it safe by rehashing the same crap, then that's their problem for being stupid and having abysmal reading comprehension skills, or worse, pay attention to what content creators like this are saying instead of what players are saying, which is probably the biggest problem going on. It's listening to content creators, listening to, insider industry people, instead of looking to what players want to play. People's problems with Marathon are various, from boredom in matches, from not finding players to shoot at, or not finding ammo to be able to shoot at players with. There's also cosmetic grievances with the character design, weapon design, visual effects, and the look of the user interface, so on and so forth. The point is that none of them are about the game being different. Also, where's the innovation? Again, it's just another extraction shooter. And that's fine, you're not going to hear me complaining about a game not innovating, I'm usually not that pressed on that kind of thing. What matters to me is if a game is fun. I don't care if I'm experiencing something revolutionary or an old idea more refined than what the competition offers. Let's just call a spade though, It's just another extraction shooter, there's no innovation here, and honestly, I have another thing to say about the argument in regards to a studio playing it safe versus trying something new. If what you're going to do instead of playing it safe is make something so insanely convoluted and visually off-putting like this, just for the sake of being able to completely separate yourself from the competition, then I don't know, man. I think I'd rather have you playing it safe. This is why Twitter is terrible for video game discourse, and yet it's there that most of it develops, and usually in short tweets like this. Here's the thing. Playing it safe has been the downfall of many studios before, where they had games with strong identities, visual and thematic, and then they began losing them by playing it safe to make their games more accessible to mass audiences. Also, mechanically, some games used to be more mechanically complex, and they lost that complexity in order to be more accessible to normies and shit. This has been the downfall of series like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and more generally speaking, studios like Obsidian and I believe Bethesda, and I say I believe because there's still a lot of people holding on to that last one, thinking that it's not cooked, and I don't have time to justify my point in this video by going over their gradual and steady decline over the past 15 years. But anyway, suffice it to say that criticizing studios for being boring and safe is something I often do. But this doesn't mean that I'm going to praise a game if what they come up with looks like ass. You know what I mean? I think morons like this guy, who, to be fair, I don't even know of, maybe calling him a moron is maybe a bit too strong, maybe that's an L on me. My bad, blame it on the French. But honestly, that's what that argument screams. It screams moron, because it's like you can only operate at two levels. Either you're for playing it safe or you are against playing it safe. And so if the gaming company goes and makes a pile of shit, you're not allowed to criticize it anymore because, hey, look, they didn't play it safe. They made weird unconventional designs, so now you can't be negative about it. Same with Highguard last month. It's not a hero shooter like Overwatch, it's not an extraction shooter like Arc Raiders, it's not a battle royale like Fortnite, it's not a standard military shooter like Call of Duty or Battlefield. It's something new that mixes all of this stuff together. So now, since you've been criticizing the industry for making the same games, you can't say anything bad about Highguard since it's different. even if it is still the heavily flawed game that it is. Like, what brain-broken mindset is this? Every time a studio makes a game that is not Call of Duty, I'm supposed to clap like a seal because they made something different than the market leader? Even if the game is bad? I'm sorry, but that's just a massive gonk take.
There's so much nothing around. I don't need loot in every corner, but do you know what I mean? I feel like there's nothing.
But that's not even the worst one. We also got people like this roaming around and basically doing the age-old, if you don't got nothing nice to say, then say nothing at all. Quote, "Don't be that guy in chat. Marathon is a damn good game. Period. Don't like it? No worries, my guy. Just go do literally anything else besides subjecting streamers and an entire game studio to your negativity." Are you serious right now? Did we not just learn anything from what happened with Highguard? Did we not learn anything from that developer who wrote a whole essay on social media about his experience launching the game, where he exposed how the studio was heavily influenced by an environment of toxic positivity? Which is the exact same thing that happened to Concord as well. And now we got another dingleberry content creator talking about not subjecting the studio to negativity. Are these people brain dead or something? Are they legitimately this stupid? Do they seriously not understand that this isn't how the industry works, let alone the world in general? Like, who the fuck does this woman think she is? To tell me what I can and can't criticize. Like, what do you think the server slam is for, sweetheart? What do you think Bungie did this for? What, for you to have content to make and talk about? It's to test the game. It's to get feedback. How about you just shut up and go play the game then, instead of coming up with restrictions that other people have to follow for your safe space online? I'll never understand this mindset. Like, some people really think that they can just dictate whether you should or shouldn't criticize a game, or what exactly you should say about it. I'll never even understand why they go on social media and seethe over what's being said when it comes to criticism. If the game is that good, then go play it. Why are you coping on the internet? It's free. You can literally play it for free right now. Go play it. Why are you on the internet coping? There was another guy, yes, a content creator, of course, it's this one on screen right now. He wrote a whole post with a lot of surface level shit that makes you wonder, how is it that these people even get partnerships and sponsorships when this is supposed to be like their job? And the depth of their commentary is, content is good with so much to grind. Game feels and plays great. Yeah guys, never mind all the people making fun of the game's name being Marathon because of you having to run a literal marathon to try and find someone in the map to engage in PvP with. Game feels great and plays great, guys. Anyway, what else? Ah yes, skill tree has much depth to it, getting Apex vibes while 3-stacking. Anyway, never mind. It's the final comment that he wrote that made me nearly spill my chungachino. Great game, Marathon. Ignore the hate. For some reason, this day and age complain about anything that is not Call of Duty. That, ladies and gentlemen, was where I realized that we were dealing with a level 10 lobotomite. Never mind that we have a return of the old faithful. Hey, all this negative stuff? Nah, forget about it, means nothing, ignore it. The declining player base that, much like Highguard, is jumping in on day 1 and leaving on day 2, will totally hold up the game for you, even when it costs, $40 actually. But never mind all that, because it's the Call of Duty part that gets me. Call of Duty caught so much shit last year, it was actually glorious to see. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it's been getting dogged on for a good couple of years now, but last year was monumental, and we actually saw an impact when it came to the player numbers, because Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders completely eclipsed the new Call of Duty. But we got people, more than one by the way, I've seen this shit several times, even the burnt peanut is engaging in this dumb shit, we'll get to him in a second though. We got several people bringing up Call of Duty as if this is all a bunch of hate from Call of Duty players, like a targeted attack on Marathon from COD fanboys, or a total revisionism of reality where Call of Duty is being praised as this incredible franchise that keeps doing the same shit while everything else is getting attacked. But that's just not true. I don't even feel like argumenting against this point. Like, it's just not true. It's like coming up to me and going, "Hey man, the sun is green." It's like, "Okay, grandpa, it's time for your meds."
Yeah. I think this might be a player. I don't know. Thank God. Stop! No, I'm getting sucked. He's sucking me. He's sucking me. I don't know. I think I'm done with this game.
Perhaps the biggest development in all of this, or at least the most shocking, is Burnt Peanut. Someone who really doesn't need an introduction these days, but I'll do it anyway since he's mostly popular on Twitch. So Burnt Peanut is a streamer who blew up during the height of Arc Raiders, and I mean blew up. He got crazy numbers to the point where people even accused him of view-botting, but if you look at the numbers, it appears that it doesn't show that. He quickly established himself, he mostly plays these games, and it's his funny reactions and role-playing as this hyper peanut character that got him quite popular. Anyway, Guy surprised everyone by staunchly defending Marathon to the point of shilling. You see, it's not just that he enjoys playing the game, it's that he's making shit up about Arc Raiders launch, telling people to shut up if they don't like the game, and generally just not making sense with what he's saying. Here's a clip.
If we keep dogging on new games, okay, what you're gonna have until you are 90 is Call of Duty 56, Halo 72, okay, that's what you're gonna get. If you know what I'm talking about, everybody's like, "Oh, dude, it's the same game every year." Then don't shit on it day one when they try something new. Even if you don't like it, shut up. Shut the hell up. And let them work. Let them cook. Let them cook, or you're gonna get Call of Duty 96. I'm not living with Call of Duty 96.
What are you, retarded? So I know you're not retarded. But what are you, Down syndrome?
Bro, guys, you know, I'm being serious right now. Someone needs to check in on this dude. I think Sony whacked him and replaced him with a Bungie employee. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to tell when he's a peanut. Like, it's not his face. I think someone stole his peanut VTuber avatar outfit or whatever and is using a voice changer to shill for Marathon, guys. It's the only way that this can make sense. But on a serious note, this is nuts. No pun intended. Even if you don't like it, shut up. Like, brother, that's exactly how you get Call of Duty number 56. That's it right there. It's people shutting up and continuing to eat the slop. It's people seeing a game that they don't like coming out and keeping quiet about what is it that they don't like. Then the game slowly dies and nobody knows what to make of it because there's no feedback, no criticism. Again, it's this delusional stance about people complaining about this because it's new. It's not because it's new, it's because it's bad. And then you want to know what else? Here's the kicker. Why did Highguard die? Really? I mean, it's still up, by the way. It hasn't gotten shut down, but given the player numbers, it's on life support. Why did the layoffs happen though? Why did most of the development team get laid off? It's because management fucked up. It's not because gamers shut it down on day one because they saw something new. This is cope. This is such low IQ cope that it genuinely sounds like this dude is being paid to shill for the goddamn game and he's just panicking because he's got nothing positive to say about it, so all he can do is scream random comedy boy nonsense, which is what usually happens because obviously nobody's expecting actual analysis from a peanut character. But if we were to drop the whole peanut gig for a second and look at things objectively, what happened with Highguard was toxic positivity led this studio to spend money that they did not have on a game that did not work. Then the game comes out and they not only desperately needed the numbers to be great, but they even expected it because again, they had all of that toxic positivity making them believe that they had struck gold. Then the opposite happens, the game doesn't resonate, and it keeps gradually losing more and more players. 90% in just about 4 days, and then about 97% in the following 2 weeks. Then they got nervous and laid off a bunch of people, most of the developers on the team, putting out this really grim signal that the game might be dead, which in itself also only want to make things even worse, because then what players want to stick around and grind the game or spend money on skins for something that they suspect is going to be shut down soon? That's some bad business, a brutal conclusion to a game that honestly had even more potential than Marathon in my view. At least according to my tastes, of course, because with Highguard my complaints was that it took too long to get to the fun part, and then when you got to the fun part, the round would reset and you would be back to horse riding and crystal mining. With Marathon, I'm all the way out. I already uninstalled the server bash or whatever, and I will definitely not be buying the final game next month for $40. Like, I'm just out. I don't care. I'm not going to be doing analysis for it. I'm not going to be doing videos tackling criticism with my own views on the gameplay like I did with Highguard. Like, I'm just out. Extraction shooters are already something that are not my thing. It was Arc Raiders that showed me that they can be my thing if they're done in a way that I enjoy. But Marathon is giving me zero appeal, zero reasons to stay. Now let's get back to that part of Peanut's assessment. If the game sucks at launch, and much like Highguard, it ends up getting shanked in the prison shower in like 2 weeks, that's not the player's fault for complaining about what sucks about it. That'll be Bungie's fault for spending God knows how much money on development that it makes things untenable to maintain. Even though, since they're charging $40 up front, I don't think that's going to happen. The fact that it happened with Highguard was crazy enough to see. I'm still in disbelief right now as to what happened there. Like, it was an atomic bomb. I wasn't counting on that shit at all. I thought the game would just exist as a mid-little generic shooter. Whew, okay, so anyway, are we good here? Can we stop the cope that players are doing this shit? And can we also stop pretending as if Call of Duty... Can we stop pretending that this is a thing? That there's these 2 games, and you can either choose to play garbage that's not Call of Duty and support it, or in the future, all you have to look forward to is Call of Duty.
Let them cook or you're gonna get Call of Duty 96! I'm not living with Call of Duty 96!
Here's how you get rid of Call of Duty as it is. You stop fucking buying it. You don't buy it, you don't stream it, you don't even get it for you don't even go, hey guys, the new Call of Duty is out, guys, we're gonna play the new Call of Duty, guys. You don't even do that. You just don't buy it, and you shit on it. You shit on it from such a height that the Activision leads will think that God himself is shitting on them. That's what you do to get rid of Call of Duty as it is. There's no binary here. You don't either have games like Marathon or games like Call of Duty. You can get good shit instead, brother, okay? You can advocate for better. Let's move on now.
Even if you don't like it, shut up! Shut the hell up! Let them work, let them cook!
Brother, what are you talking about in this line as well? Like, no, you want better games, you need to have open channels of communication. If you can't handle the heat, then you need to get out of social media. That's the same advice I have for that girl content creator from earlier. You guys can just play the games if you don't want to deal with the negativity. You guys don't have to come out on social media and join the sea of shit that's going on. Like, that's what Twitter is. It's a sea of shit.
It was just disgust. And that's what I'm feeling right now. That's, you may say you're going too far with you, bro, but it's the truth. These are just horrible. I mean, horrible.
If you don't want to get dirty, you don't take a swim. If you got people coming into your chat and telling you that the game sucks, that's life, my brother. That's the price of your success. I bet a lot of people out there would much prefer to deal with a couple of retards in a chat while making your money instead of dealing with their bosses. So there you go. You are streaming, some retard comes in, Marathon sucks, it's the worst game, it's a shit game, Marathon, why are you playing Marathon, Peanut? The game sucks. It is what it is. That's life, okay? You chose this path, and it's like me. I chose this path. There's gonna be people writing in the comments that I'm retarded, is what it is. And they're right. It's never a good idea to tell people what to say or what not to say. It's not a good idea to tell people to shut up just because you don't like what their feedback is. That's number one. And number two, like, what do you even mean let them cook? The bulk of the game is already there, dude. It's an extraction shooter. It looks the way that it looks. It plays the way that it plays. There's nothing that can be done about that. No amount of cooking is going to change these elements that people are complaining about, and making them think that it is and they should, spend their $40 anyway and wait for it to happen is misleading. Really, there's only one type of person that benefits from this whole idea about, just shut up and let them cook or whatever. Only one type of person benefits from this, and it's content creators. The developers don't benefit at all because they're not getting the feedback. If their player base goes down, they're not going to know why. Just gonna sit there like, geez, Steve, why are we bleeding players? There's been no feedback. Everybody just seems to be happy. It's not good for players either, because obviously we like to express ourselves, so only one person gains. It's content creators who don't have to deal with people coming into their chat and going, hey, this game sucks. Obviously that's not very good if Bungie comes to you and, wants to sponsor a stream where you play Marathon and you can't because your whole goddamn fan base is going, yo, dude, come on, play something else. Speaking of other games, there's another clip where he says this thing that is on screen right now. Quote, "Shut up, this happens with every game. The game you're telling me to go play, Arc Raiders, you literally did it to as well."
This game is garb, hot trash. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at me. I'm hating on the new game right when it released. I'm the coolest. Shut up! That happens with every game!
Fucking runner
literally, the game you're telling me to go play Arc Raiders, you literally did it to as well! On day one! Shut up! You literally did the same thing to Arc, and that's what you're telling me to go play!
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
I'll try to find a video clip, but if I fail, it's right there on screen. Game journalists even covered it because of course they did. They love nothing more than famous content creators, developers, or other game journalists telling gamers to shut the f*** up. It's just too bad that this is another bold-faced lie, and one that makes Peanut either a retard or a paid shill whose entertainment value in the future will be solely for his reactions while playing games rather than any actual opinions. Because this looks paid off as f***. It's embarrassing, dude. This did not happen with Arc Raiders. Both Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders did not have this negativity going for them at launch, from promotional material nor even at release. They were actually games that had a lot of support going for them. Of course, they both had their own fair share of criticism. I mentioned it in a previous video already, how Arc Raiders had some people hating on the third-person view, and how Battlefield 6 had people hating on the movement. But the overall word of mouth, trailer reactions, and release sentiment was positive. It made the game skyrocket. You didn't need to tell anyone to let them cook, because when games are good off the get-go, when they have potential, that just comes naturally as people enjoy what's there and, wait for fixes and updates. Nobody did this shit to Arc Raiders. He's just rewriting history to defend this ugly ass game. In fact, Arc Raiders was doing so well that before launch, you couldn't even write Arc Raiders into chat on Call of Duty. And I saw earlier, I think another game besides Call of Duty would also block out the words Arc Raiders in their chat. I think it was Battlefield, but I'm not sure. This was already the case before launch. Why would Activision block out words if the game was already getting roasted by gamers? Like, if the game was hated, if people were doing the same thing to Arc Raiders that they did to Highguard and to Marathon, then why the f*** did they even bother to censor the game's words on the chat? Forget about it, it's just a cheeky rhetorical question, because the point is, it didn't happen, and the game had a lot of hype going behind it. It's just that shills and game journalists like to rewrite history to pretend as if gamers are this malicious conspiracy group. We're going to destroy this video game now because we will it. It's retarded, bro. Can we please stop coping? All this fantasy just so they can feel better about themselves and sweep blame away from studios who are making mistake after mistake after mistake, making games that people don't want. Hey, here's an idea, by the way. How about we cut the production of live services in half? How about half the studios that are making live services just stop for a while and make some single-player games instead? Now, how about, you know, Battlefield 6 is a great game, don't get me wrong, I rather enjoy it. But how about DICE stops for a second, instead of immediately making Battlefield 7 or Battlefield 2058, whatever the fuck, instead of doing that, how about they just make a new Mirror's Edge game? How about that? How about Bungie? Why is Bungie doing that? Why didn't Bungie just make Marathon what Marathon actually is, which is a single-player space game, you know, with a story and everything, and then you want to put a little multiplayer on top? Do it, like the old days. Like, I'm dying to get back to the old days. Why are we doing that? Why the f*** are we making so many live services? How about we cut those in half immediately off the get-go? This is the most annoying thing ever because we know that they are difficult to sustain. We also know that there's a huge oversaturation problem where there's just way too many of them. But then these morons go and they make more and more and more of them, then they fail and it's our fault. To that I say fuck that, and to these content creators and journalists who push these narratives I say fuck you. Where's your suggestion? Because all I hear is cope and shifting of the blame, but not a single point of suggestion that actually comes from somewhere that makes sense, like, hey, fellas, maybe it's not a good idea, fellas, to continue making garbage live service slop. Fellas, maybe, fellas, it'd be a really good idea if you inserted a little bit of variety and tried something else, fellas. Because single player isn't dead. People want to play single player games, just look at what's going on right now with Resident Evil 9. So you could profit from that if you're not retarded. Like, of course, if you're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars in making a single player game, you may just flop as well. But hey, just don't do that. You're in the games industry, you're a professional, you're a big company. You're not supposed to be retarded, okay? You're not supposed to. So do your job. Do your job, manage yourself, make a good game. If you make a good little single-player game on the side, not only do you give your developers a little bit of a break where they can breathe for a second, but also you give the market a bit of a pause, a bit of hunger. You give players a bit of hunger, like, maybe I'm ready for a new live service to drop. Instead of it just being garbaggio after garbaggio, it's garbaggio on Monday, it's garbaggio on Tuesday. Hey, look at that, Wednesday's coming. What's on the menu? More garbaggio, thanks a lot. Fucking crashing out over here. Even Marathon went ahead and joined the party on blocking the words Arc Raiders from the game's chat. This happened and it's already getting revision too, with shills gassing up Bungie for doing this right here, where they saw the allegations and dropped a screenshot showing them writing Arc Raiders in the chat and it working. Quote, "The fact that Marathon team is out here crushing misinformation brings joy to my heart. Stop grifting for likes, loser." I added the loser there at the end because I thought it was, you know, I thought it was in line with the tone of the post. Isn't it weird how this is a dynamic with people, by the way? Like, it doesn't even matter if the game is good, they're just overjoyed to see the developer team crushing misinformation. It's just more culture war like cringe where people will either support or dunk on a game based off of whether or not it goes against the chud grifters, and I'm so tired of this as well, dude. Like, Marathon isn't a culture war thing, it's just a boring game. It's just Highguard again, except uglier. But anyway, it wasn't even misinformation. Like, this shit happened. There's footage of it from streamers happening live. And it wasn't just any random streamer. Like, sure, I would be suspicious if it was just a random streamer popping up and posting it, like maybe someone was just editing it to fabricate it. But it was on Ninja's stream. Say what you will about the guy, but he doesn't have the time for that kind of shit these days. The blue-hair ninja days are over. He's a goddamn adult now.
There's no way you can do that. Someone said you can type.
Type what? I hate Arc Raiders.
Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this.
It did block out Arc, now it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh. You can type love. You can't say that you love Arc Raiders.
No way.
no way.
I love Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders.
I hate Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders.
That is insane, bro.
I love Arc Raiders. I love Overwatch.
That's the pettiness that.
No way.
Marvel Rivals. I love Counter-Strike. I love Arc Raiders. Wow, there it is.
So it just sounds like they patched it out or changed the terms in which it blocks the names, like expressing whether you love the game or hate the game, but now there's reports that you can do that now too, so maybe they changed it again. Like, I don't know, fellas, all I know is it happened. And never mind why Bungie did this, it's obvious why they did. Arc Raiders is their main competitor as another extraction shooter. It's just so stupid, like the concept is laughable. You're not going to get people to not know your competitor's name or suggest each other to go play it with this. In fact, this only makes your game look pathetic. But anyway, yeah, this shit happened. Even other game journal websites covered it, like PC Gamer. Now we got clowns calling this misinformation as if it didn't. And we got Peanut over here coping about the state of the game and people talking shit about it. And it's just lame. It's so lame. Like if you like the game, you know, he stated that he likes the game, and that's fine. He couldn't just say it though. He couldn't just say, guys, I like the game. No, he had to be lame about it too and say, yeah, actually I do enjoy the game. It's quite an enjoyable game when you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you it sucks. Which is funny because we covered a similar comment from a gaming news outlet that said the same exact thing about Highguard. If he likes the game, there's no reason to be such a cuck about it. There's no reason to rewrite a history over what happened with Arc Raiders. There's no reason to tell people to shut up even if they don't like it. Like, what even is this? It's actually funny that this happened where he changed his chat to be sub only. So only the people who are sub to him could speak. He did this so that, you know, there'd be less comments coming in like, oh, the game sucks. And then this happened.
There's so many negative people. It's hard to stay positive.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
people are just fucking miserable.
Guys, can we just be positive, guys? Holy shit! You don't like the game, you don't have to watch. Fine.
Now, what people do, instead of them just closing out the stream and going somewhere else, they have to let you know that they don't
I
like
know,
it.
it's kind of weird. We'll play. I'm gonna play ARC very soon. I love ARC. Because I'm playing it right now. I don't know why you have to tell me all about it. That's a good idea. You know what? Oh, that's a genius idea. I'll send it to sub only.
You might have to free kit it.
Well, hold on. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Thanks, boys.
Find
Thanks,
out.
boys. Good thinking.
Come
Good thinking.
Cool.
I subbed just to tell you how much I hate this game and it sucks to watch me. That's kind of funny, actually. That was the first time, chat.
Dude.
Like, bro, just let it happen. Like, come on, man. This is how we are. You know this is how we are. I know this is how you are too. I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know what line of copium this is, but you know that this is how gamers operate. People don't like something, they rag on it. Let it happen. If the game is good, it'll speak for itself. Like, what is this about? Shut up even if you don't like the game. What is this? That line alone would get him an invitation to go work at Kotaku. Anyway, that does it for this episode of covering the marathon cope. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but I think we're in for another very entertaining season of people rejecting more live service slop that they have been begging companies to stop making, and then content creators and journalists coping and seething about it and making up telenovelas in their heads that gaming didn't used to be this way. Apparently, gamers just ate the slop, or, you know, they just quietly set aside the games that they didn't like broccoli on the side of the plate. Never mind the massive failures that people have always spoken up about, and of course, never mind the fact that back then, social media was not even half of what it is now. Never mind of how much worse the gaming scene has gotten, that there's more cases of really bad games coming out now than ever before. especially at this massive scale. Like, remember, back then you used to have stinkers, big stinkers, but they used to mostly be from smaller studios. Big studios making big stinkers is something that has increased over time. Again, sometimes some people show up, especially in dramas like these, related to either game criticism or console fanboyism, such as what happened last year with Nintendo, that just makes me wonder, how is it that some of these people ever got to be as big as they are to get sponsorships and partnerships? The sponsorships and partnerships explain themselves very easily. Companies like influencers to shield their products for them. That's normal. That's, you know, water is wet. What I can't explain is how do so many people listen and subscribe to them. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I'll keep an eye out for more stupid crap like this, just in case more of it pops up for another video. So hey, subscribe and all that, please. But in the meantime, I'll be working on other stuff. Thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for a stupid video on a really so bad that it's actually good game coming soon, and take care. I'll see you on the next one.